Alan Patton back at Westgear Field. We're at halftime of the season opener of the 2014 high school football season, and the Villa Grove Heritage Blue Devils are leading the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond Knights by a score of 14-0. So we said this is the season opener for the Blue Devils and the Knights. Next week, the Blue Devils will be at Argenta Orienta to take on one of the new members of the Little Okaw Valley Conference. The week following that, on the 12th of September, they will be at Decatur Lutheran. And then they will return home on September 19th against Hudsonville Palestine. On the 26th, they'll be at home against Oblong. On October the 3rd, they'll be at Martinsville. On the 10th of October, they'll host Cumberland. On the 17th, it will be the Tri-County Titans here at Westgear Field. And then that will be at Oakland. And then the Blue Devils will end their season at home against Bismarck Henning. For the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond Knights, their next game will be their home opener against Martinsville. Then they have 4 straight home games. September 5th against Martinsville, September 12th against Oblong, September 19th against Sangamon Valley, and September 26th against Arcola. October 3rd, the Knights will go to Cerro Gordo Bement. Then on the 10th, they will host Decatur Lutheran. On the 17th of October, they will play at Argenta Orienta, and the Knights will close out their season on October 24th at Cumberland. The Little Okaw Valley Conference has undergone some realignment, just like many of the other conferences in the area. They now have 12 teams and 2 divisions. The Blue Devils are in the Southeast Division with Martinsville, Tri-County, Oblong, Palestine, Hudsonville, Cumberland, and of course Villa Grove Heritage. Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond is in the Northwest Division, and they have Arcola, Argenta Orienta, Cerro Gordo Bement, Decatur Lutheran, and Sangamon Valley. So that's a little bit of a look at what's ahead for both teams and the new alignment of the Little Okaw Valley Conference. Blue Devils are leading by a score of 14-0 here at the half. Scoring came in the first quarter. 9:13 to go. Kenny Guerrero scored on a 12-yard run. The try for 2 was no good, and that made it 6-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Then with 2:07 to go in the first quarter, Dalton James caught a 26-yard pass in the front right corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Max Daly ran the 2-point conversion, and that's where we stand at halftime, 14-0. We'll drop some stats in for you as we continue here. We're getting ready to start the third quarter. Villa Grove Heritage won the toss and deferred at the start of the ball game, so that meant they'll get the kickoff to begin the third quarter. Looks like Tyler Schuring will be kicking off. Double safeties back at about the 10. It's going to be taken short at the 22 by the VGH Blue Devils, and it's going to be brought up to about the 37-yard line. And that was number 20, Nathan Bradley, a 5'5", 134-pound junior. And the Blue Devils take over. 1st and 10, and they're going to call it the 38-yard line.
The Blue Devils start this drive from their own 38-yard line.
Blue Devils with about 100, almost 150 yards total offense in the first half. They have the ball 1st and 10. Here's a handoff on the reverse going to Kenny Guerrero, and he goes around the left side, but he's going to be dropped for a loss of about 3 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 13. Guerrero carried twice in the first half for 20 yards and a touchdown. Here he's dropped for A loss of 3. So it's going to be 2nd and 13. Gavin Gunter hands off to Max Daly up the middle. He's going to get the lost yardage back and a couple more as he gets up to about the 40. And a gain of 5. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Villa Grove going without a huddle. And they've been keeping it on the ground. They've tried 5 passes unofficially in the first half. 3 men wide to the right, 1 to the left. Gunter drops back, rolls out to the right, looks downfield. There's a flag. Pass complete to Toby Stipp at the 45. He steps out at about the 47, but there was a flag for a hold against the Blue Devils. That will be their 6th penalty for about 65 yards. Flag was thrown at the 39. Holding on Villa Grove Heritage. Should be 10 from the spot of the foul, which will take it back to about the 29. That's where it goes. So really it's a little bit more of a loss than that.
Still 3rd down.
But it's going to be about 3rd down and 20. Third down and 3rd and 20. They have to get in between the 48 and 49 for the first down. Gunter gets the snap, hands to Guerrero around the left side. He's going to be stacked up, and he is going to be brought down. Scramble for the ball. Let's see. One of the Knights players said the ball was theirs, but the officials are not. Well, let's see. Arthur Lemming, an Atwood Hammond player, handed the ball to the official, but I think it's going to be a 4th down. Loss of about 3. Ball's going to be marked at the 27, I think. Loss of a couple. So it's going to be 4th down. Skylar Orwick back to punt. He punted twice for an average of 28 yards. Cole Garman, number 10, back at the Knights 45 to receive the punt. Short snap. Orwick gets the ball high in the air, and it's going to kick toward the sideline and hit about the 49 and roll toward the sideline about the 47. So about a 20-yard punt for the Blue Devils. That's going to be 1st and 10 for the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond Knights.
Knights will start from there. 1st down.
With 9:14 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Just about the best starting field position the Knights have had in the football game. 2 wide receivers to the right. Wingbacks both sides. Single back behind, Tyler Schuring in the shotgun. He gets the snap. Schuring rolls to the right side. He's on his feet, crosses the 40 of Villa Grove Heritage, and he's going to be brought down at about the 39-yard line. Gain of about 14. It's going to be 1st and 10. That is the 5th first down of the ball game for the Knights. Okay, that's a gain of 8. So, got to be 2nd down and 2 at the 39. 9 carries, 51 yards for Tyler Schuring. Here's a couple men in motion, and now Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond tries to call timeout, and I think they're going to let him have it. The Knights had two people going in motion. One of them was number 44, Brandon Teak. I think Stephen Wright might have been the other one, but they were in motion at the same time. They were running right toward each other. And Tyler Schuring saw what was happening, and he called a timeout. The officials gave it to him, so timeout on the field with 8:26 to go. That's the first timeout of the second half for the Knights. And with 8:26 to go in the third quarter, it's Villa Grove Heritage 14, Arthur Leamington Atwood Hammond nothing. Well, I guess it's the first game for everybody.
See somebody holding, I guess you can turn it up and call it.
Yeah, that's good.
That's like one time I saw this baseball blooper. It might have been Willie Stargell. He was running trying to steal second base, and they had him out by 10 miles, and he stops and...
That's good.
3, 2, 1. After the timeout, the Knights have it. Second down and 2 from the 39 of Villa Grove Heritage. 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Schuring throws to the right side for Fagan. He goes high for it, and it is incomplete. They've been working on that pass all night long. The first two were just way over Fagan's head. That time he was able to get up, and it bounced off his hands. Fagan, 6'3", 185. Kenny Guerrero on the defensive part. They have him listed at 5'7", going up against 6'3", Kyle Fagan. I think they need to work on the matchup a little bit better. Anyway, it's going to be third down, 2 from the 39. Schuring was 6 of 12 in the first half with an interception and 12 yards. Just missed on his first pass attempt here in the second half. Schuring going to take it on the quarterback draw. He's got the first down and more as he gets inside the 35-yard line to the 32, we'll say. Cole Lemon in on the stop. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights. That is their 5th first down of the football game. Schuring gets 7 to the 32. Knights moving from right to left as you look at it on your screen. Going wide to the right side, number 10, Nathan Rose. Brandon Teak in the slot to the right. Off to the left, Cole Garman. To the left, Stephen Wright. Fagan in the slot to the right. Here's a pitch to Wright going around right end. He cuts upfield. He's going to get a couple yards before he's finally brought down. Number 3 in on the stop for Villa Grove Heritage, Tyler Harrison. Wright is going to get about 5, we'll say. 27-yard line is where they mark it. Maybe second and about 5. Unofficially, we have Wright for his first carry for 5 yards. He's been targeted for a couple passes, but so far, that's all we have for him in rushing. 1 carry for 5 yards. Second down, about 5 to go, coming up on the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. Schuring gets a snap, hesitates, rolls to the left side. He's still on his feet, pulled down from behind. In on the stop, number 10, Cole Lemon, number 27, Dalton James. Schuring inside the about the 24, 23-yard line. Third down, they're going to say 2. So, third down and 2.
Yeah, that's your responsibility. Yeah.
About a 3-yard carry for Schuring. He has been the quarterback all 4 years of high school for his dad, Dale Schuring, who's in his 12th season at Arthur Leamington and Arthur Leamington Atwood Hammond. Here's Wright going up the middle. He's going to be close to first down yardage. They're going to mark it at about the, I don't know, it looks like the 21.
51.
Going to be a little short, so it's going to be 4th down and 1.
Emerson, 4th down for the Knights.
So it's going to be 4th down for Arthur Levington Atwood Hammond. 22-yard line, 5:40 to go here in the third quarter. Blue Devils at Argenta Orienta next weekend, next Friday. And the Knights will play their home opener against Martinsville. 4th down and about a yard. Schuring with the back behind him in the backfield. Fagan in motion to the left. Here's Schuring throwing downfield. Incomplete through the hands of number 44, Brendan Teak. And the Blue Devils take over on downs. Teak was open. The pass just went through his hands. And the Blue Devils take over. 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Heritage starts this drive from their own 20.
Blue Devils, 18 rushes, 115 yards in the first half. And Patton back at Russ Gear Field in Villa Grove. We're just about ready to get underway. Apparently the services of the ambulance or fire truck were needed, and they're on their way, so they're going to pick things up. Villa Grove Heritage with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. And taking the football for the Blue Devils is number 3, Tyler Harrison. He's going to go to the right side, and he's going to get about 3 yards on the play. That's the 4th carry for Harrison. He's out to the 25. Going to be 2nd down and 6, so we'll call it a 4-yard gain. Gavin Gunter at quarterback, hands off to Max Daly up the middle. He's going to be stood up at about the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and a yard. Daly has carried the ball 12 times for 85 yards. Last year he rushed the ball 135 times for 847 yards. And it looks like he's going to get it again and get the 1st down to the 35. 7 first downs in the ball game for the Blue Devils unofficially.
Max Daly is on the carry, but we have a flag on the field.
Daly carries the football, but there's a flag on the play. Illegal shift against the Blue Devils. Daly got the ball across the 40 to about the 41. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That is unofficially the 7th penalty for the Blue Devils.
Still 1st down.
So we got to be 1st and 15, the ball back at the 30. Gunter with Daly in the backfield. 2 men to the right, 1 to the left. Gunter mishandles the snap. That's the 2nd fumble for the Blue Devils, and they've recovered both of them. Gunter loses about 3 on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 18. Kevin Gunter, the junior quarterback, gets the snap, rolls out to his left, puts the ball in the air, it's complete, caught over on the far side, and it's going to be taken at about the 35-36. That was number 14 making the catch, Cole Lemon, and it's going to be about a 5-yard gain. Going to be 3rd down and 13 from the 35. Gunner rolling right. Passes complete to Stipp. Flag on the play. Stipp is stood up at the 40. And he's going to be put down about the 41, but we have a flag on the play. Another hold against the Blue Devils. Flag was thrown at about the 37.
Penalty's going to be holding against the Blue Devils.
So it was, holding has been declined.
Penalty's declined.
So it's going to be fourth down at the 41. So it's going to be fourth down, about 4 yards to go, and Orwick will be into punt with 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Good snap. Orwick just gets the kick way ahead of Kyle Fagan, who was rushing in. And the Blue Devils will let the kick roll, and they will down it at the 25-yard line. About a 34-yard punt for Orwick.
Orwick's punt rolls down to the 25-yard line.
And the Knights will take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line with 2:15 to go here in the third quarter. Knights moved the ball fairly decently the last possession they had, but turned it over on downs. Don't think they made it into the red zone, but Schuring with a single setback, Teak behind him. Wings to the to both sides and two wide receivers to the right. Schuring's going to keep it himself. Making the tackle for the Blue Devils, number 3, Tyler Harrison. And now we've got an injured Blue Devil on the field. Schuring going to be just across the 30. We're going to call it the 31. He's second and about 4, a 6-yard gain for Schuring. He's carried the ball 12 times.
Spencer, 72. He'll be all right. He's walking it off now.
The injured player was number 72, Spencer Ebersol. Plays a linebacker position as well as offensive line. And when they get him off the field, we'll get started once again. Just over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. They start the clock wide to the right side for the Knights. Number 7, Jeremy Plank. Schuring in the shotgun. Rolls to the left side. He's going to keep it himself. Gets away from a couple men. And he's brought down. Toby Stipp on the top, on the stop. 10, Cole Lemon. He's going to get out to the 47. Gain of 16, and it's going to be first and 10 for the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond Knights. Their 6th first down of the night. Knights with the football. Started at their own 25 after the punt. 1:40 to go. Here in the third quarter. Knights, 2 men wide to the right, single back behind Schuring. He gets the snap, hands off to Stephen Wright going around the right side. He's going to be stacked up at midfield, so a gain of about 3 for Wright. Ball right at midfield, going to be second down and about 7 from midfield. Wright picked up 3 on the play. They've started going to him a little bit more here in the third quarter.
51, Kyle McColgan.
Kyle McColgan in on the stop.
And 55, Gavin Arnold.
Gavin Arnold, McColgan, Arnold, Jake Coffin, and Noah Danner on the defensive line.
Second guy in is an eligible.
Here's Schuring keeping it himself. Breaks it for a first down inside the 35.
Tyler Schuring on the keeper.
to the 33-yard line of Villa Grove Heritage. 17-yard carry.
Tackle on that play by number 30, Tanner Berkner.
Tanner Berkner in on the stop. And unofficially, that puts Schuring at 100 yards for the football game on 14 carries. So the Knights trying to get back in the ball game. They're down by 2 touchdowns. Schuring throws left side, complete, taking the ball, number 10 for the Knights. And we have a flag down.
Number 10, Nathan Rose.
Pass was complete to Nathan Rose on the near side.
Number 10,
Cole Lemon making the stop. And we have a flag. We haven't seen an indication from the officials. There looks like the line judge and the referee are conferring.
He's saying, do you know the sign for that? Yeah, probably. It's 2 hands on the head. That last time that
Let's see.
two-way football, illegal participation.
Referee looking at at something. Flag was thrown at about the
Illegal touching of the right shoulder. What is that? 2 hands on the
well. If I had here we go. Now it's so small I can't read it, but
Yeah, I can't read the print on it. First touch, illegal touching.
illegal touching was the call. They haven't moved the football yet.
penalties against the Knights.
One of the officials holding on to the ball, and
legal touching.
He was an ineligible receiver, so he could not be the first person to touch the ball.
He shouldn't have even been downfield, which he really
No,
kind of
he
was.
can be downfield. He just can't be the first.
No, because you can't even have linemen head downfield on a pass. If you're not that
illegal touching
not eligible, you
against
More than 5 yards.
Arthur Lovington.
That's the line of scrimmage.
The ball goes back to the 38-yard line. So a loss of 5-yard penalty. That's only the second penalty. Here's Schuring back to throw. Gets away from one, heaves it downfield. It's coming up short and almost intercepted. And we've got a flag on the play. Toby Stipp and number 5 for the Blue Devils, Tyler Price, were back on defense. And they were covering Cole Garman. The flag was thrown. The pass was short. Garman had to come back for it. And he got into a situation where he had to play defender and try to knock the ball away so it wouldn't get intercepted. And it is against the Knights. Offensive pass interference. And let's see, we had a first and okay, so it's going to be okay. They're marking it off from the 38, and it is 15 yards. Goes back to the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond 47. It's going to be first down. They have to get to the 30, to the 23. So that's about a nice round 30 yards. Here's Schuring throwing incomplete through the hands of Garman. So it's going to be second down. Let's call it 30 yards to go. Ball at the 47 of the Knights. 3 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And Villa Grove Heritage holding on to that 14-0 lead. They got off to a quick start and things have kind of slowed down since then.
He's going to see that quarterback draw here.
Yeah, and he'll just take off.
Get up on the line.
3 men wide to the right, 2 to the left. Shuring alone in the backfield, gets a snap. He's going to take it on his own. Then he's going to be thrown for a loss. Back at the 42-yard line. Loss of 5. Noah Danner making the stop. And Shuring is dropped for a 5-yard loss, and that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Villa Grove Heritage 14, Arthur Lovington, Atwood Hammond nothing. You're watching high school football on DouglasCountyDigest.com.